Hello, everybody, and welcome to what is slowly becoming a packed house here at St. Peter's Boys High School in Staten Island. We're welcoming you to a fantastic matchup. It's the New York City Middle School Basketball JV semifinal between the visiting Marine Park Mariners from JHS 278 taking on the IS 61 William A. Morris Knights. I'm Danny Chanod from Nobody Cares Sports, no religion, no politics, just feel good Sports 5's doing play-by-play. And once again, joining me in the broadcast booth, rising star in the business doing color commentary, Mr. Ray Palma. How are you, Coach?
Danny, happy to be here, right here in a beautiful sunny Friday afternoon. You know, the best part of the week is those first minutes when you just get out of work. And, you know, this is my version of play, Dan. I might not be able to participate on the floor anymore, but to watch these kids at such a high level, be immediately a quick shot to Monte Cristoforo and St. Peter's for lending the gym here at St. Peter's to the public school league. So I work at IS 61, full disclosure. Our gym's very small, Dan. So spectators are limited and stuff. Here, there's no limits. The parents can come watch, and if not, come watch in person. Thanks to Danny Chanod, Nobody Cares Sports. We have a live broadcast for everybody.
Well, that's right, and we want to give a big shout out to the good folks up at the studios with LocalLive.tv. That's where we're broadcasting right now. It's a tremendous service that works with a dozen, if not more, schools here in the local area. I know about 4 or 5 schools on Staten Island that have Local Live, and we add to the broadcast. Of course, if you want to watch the restream later on, we'll throw it up on YouTube. Absolutely nobody cares. Make sure you like and subscribe. 2 teams today face off here in a interborough matchup. Coach Ray Palma, they didn't have this kind of thing when we were kids. I went to 61, and we didn't play basketball against other schools, bro.
You cannot underestimate, and a lot of respect to Mark Connors, the president of the Middle School League, and what they've done is they've created, for many years, the CYO, if you consider it a feeder system for Catholic schools. Well, now the playing field's been even somewhat because this league is now a feeder for public schools. Now, obviously, these kids can go Catholic and vice versa, but you see it now at I-61 and all the middle schools here on Staten Island. It's just been a beautiful thing, and what I like the most about it, Danny, is it's well organized. It's run. It's efficient. You know, this is Don McCombs and Danny Brown ref in this game today. You know, this is not 2 jabronis who don't know what they're doing. These are 2 experienced veteran officials. So just a kudos to how well it's run, and it's just like a mini PSAL, and it's just a beautiful thing. And to have a championship game on a Friday afternoon like this is just a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful day out here. We are in New Brighton, Staten Island, the home of the Eagles. It is a high school basketball gym playing host to a junior high school basketball game today. This kind of stuff is exactly what we want to cover in terms of local sports, and they're doing a fantastic job of it here today. As we mentioned, the team from Marine Park, the Mariners out of JHS 278 come in here today. You could call them the favorite, but there's a lot of bias taking place here on Staten Island, what with people that have graduated from 61 and whatnot and who works there, etc. So what we can take from it, though, at the end of today's conversation prior to the start of this tip, Ray, is that I think it's going to be a close game.
Danny, I got distracted. I'm sorry. I can respond, but I'm watching Marine Park warm up. And first of all, I think there's 74 of them.
Right.
And they're all just in such sync and working together as a team right now. I'm sorry, but yes, to answer your question, Dan, I think actually I don't remember the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
As far as a close game goes, I mean, obviously we haven't had a chance to see Marine Park as much. But what we have here is a 13-0 61 team and a 10-0 Marine Park team.
Right, so I said there's a lot of bias because there's a lot of alumni in the house associated with Nobody Cares Sports that either graduated and or work for 61. And, you know, we're in New Brighton, and that's where a lot of these kids are from playing for this IS 61 squad. The other half of the crop of kids are from West Brighton, the next neighboring town, so to speak, here on the north shore of the island. So when we look at this squad, though, from Marine Park, it's not kids just from Marine Park. It's kids from Garrettson Beach. It's kids from Glenwood, East New York. They are absolutely all over the map. Some absolutely are from Marine Park. Some are from Ocean Avenue. So we're seeing a little bit separate. And you know that happens in Brooklyn as well because things are much more spread out. Certainly here in the IS 61 neck of the woods, we're a bit more compact when it comes to picking your intermediate schools.
Oh, certainly. It's to a detriment almost. We have so many schools in such a close area. that. So Danny says we're taking a break here. So Danny would take us to a break. And
about 20 seconds.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to give a big shout-out to everybody that always powers us along. Who does it best? Who powers us along? Give me one out of the top of your head, Ray.
Well, I mean, it's Main Street Coffee.
Main Street Coffee off the top of my head. Shout out to Main Street Coffee.
Baby, all times, not just coffee.
Not just coffee. And a major shout-out to our friends at Windows. We are, wherever you are, the Turnbull family. We appreciate you. 30 seconds away from tip-off. Let's get Welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Chanod broadcasting from Nobody Cares Sports Network on the call. We are working today with our friends from LocalLive.tv for what is sure to be a fantastic semifinal middle school basketball championship matchup here in New York City between the JHS 278 Marine Park Mariners and the IS-61 William A. Morris Knights. The teams are out on the court getting ready to go, and let me just get you familiar with them. Marine Park Mariners come in wearing somewhat of camouflage blue, white, and gray tops with gray shorts, and it's the Morris Knights that are rocking the all-black with white trim and a red trim going around the shorts. Coach Ray Palma, rising star broadcaster in the booth, joining me for this broadcast. Final thoughts before tip, Coach.
Just a lot of excitement. Obviously, I'm a full disclosure, a staff member at IS-61 and a big fan of both Peter Timmons and Kevin Hyde and the coaches. But this Marine Park team coming in, first of all, there's so many of them. Coach Patrick Akande, it's his 11th season. I didn't know they did this for 11 years, but his 11th season coaching at the school. And they have a star. 13, Khalil Green is there, Mr. Do Everything. So I'm just dying to get a chance to watch him play. He's one of the captains. And his backcourt mate, Damon Sebastian, point guard captain. So they've got a dynamite backcourt. I'm dying to see him. And obviously these 61 kids are very familiar with one another, had a fantastic year as well, 13-0 on their own. So someone's going to lose their first game today, Danny. I'm excited about that.
Somebody's moving on to the championship. It's number 13, Khalil Green, out to tip it off with an unknown number out. I love when they do that.
Omar Arango. That's 00.
Thank
Omar
you, my
Arango.
brother. Tipped off. Arango controls the tip, and it's the Knights that'll bring it across the timeline to start. Almost a turnover, but they maintain possession. Now the kick outside for a long jump shot won't go, and it's the Mariners that come up with the rebound, bringing the ball across the timeline from right to left. Damon Sebastian with it now. Calls out the offensive play, receives it back from his guard, sends it left. Now a good cross-court pass. We're seeing excellent perimeter passing here. Finds the open man in the lane, Khalil Green, with the first bucket of the game.
Spoke about him. He's their go-to guy and the one they want the ball in his hands.
Arango making a beautiful move, just can't finish. And the Mariners look to push quickly the other way. Cross-court pass, Knights getting back on defense. A tremendous block in the paint. Now coming the other way, Mariners getting back. What will the Knights do? Throws up a wild bucket, left side, won't go. Mariners have it now. They look to push. 3-on-3 going the other direction. A lot of contact, no call. It would be wise for the Knights to slow it up, but instead they quickly bring it across. This is number 2 with it now. Noah Scott throwing up a wild shot that doesn't go. When, oh when, will we have some sense of calm here in the beginning minutes?
Championship game or semifinal game, flurries early.
Absolutely. You could expect those butterflies to continue as the ball finally goes out of bounds for a stoppage in play. Ref signifies it'll be IS-61 basketball.
And the Mariners are up early here. Looks like a 2-2-1 full court pressure.
Yeah, it's Arango who brings it across the timeline, driving with his left hand. He can't finish. That's 2 chances at the bucket that he couldn't finish on back-to-back possessions. Going down the other end, this is going to be Khalil Green. He's got the only point so far for the Mariners and headed to the line here to shoot 2.
I've seen him play for a minute and whatever that would be, 53 seconds, whatever the math is, and I can already tell that's a change of speed, Danny, you don't see from a lot of kids. He went from 50 miles an hour down to 10 and then back to 50 really quick. Got himself a trip to the foul line.
I mean, just They have a saying in the Spanish language for men with that kind of charisma. I believe they call it suave. He's very smooth on the court.
That's a good way of describing this young man so far. As advertised, Coach Akonde very high on him early on. So this kid had a bright future ahead of him on and off the court.
So he goes 0 for 2 from the charity stripe, and it's the Knights that come up with it. Now quickly looking for answers the other direction. Perimeter passing here up top. Scott with it, goes left side. He misses the bucket. Tipped around, and we'll see who comes up with the loose ball. It is going to be the Mariners that come up with it, and then they're quickly called for a travel. Knights basketball.
So you're going to get a Scott. Scott is a all-around, reminds me of Joe Dumas, a combo guard, can do a little bit of everything. Amazing long now in the game. He'll add a huge size factor for 61 as well.
Here is a three from the left wing from the Knights that doesn't go. Rebounded by the Mariners. A wild pass baseline is corralled, and able to bring it across now is number 30, Damon Sebastian.
Morris Knights in the... Sorry, Dave.
Go ahead, no worries. A deep three won't go.
And Scott's going to be Morris Knights in that zone, and Scott's on the push up ahead to Long.
Excellent deflection. Good defense.
And Danny, last time we broadcasted the game together, Amazing Long had a phenomenal performance in the 7th grade championship. So could be a big factor here for the IS-61 off the bench. Scott's going to inbound. The Warriors at the line, strong side.
Well, they get it in cleanly underneath. There is a foul on the basket attempt. It doesn't go from Amazing Long, but he'll have a trip to the charity stripe here and attempt to be the first player in the game to find pay dirt from it.
Well, this is JV, so this is only 6th or 7th graders. Noah Scott with a lot of experience, got a lot of playing time. Scott also the only returning player that got playing time last year on an Island Championship varsity team. So expect to see a lot of Scott. I don't think you'll see him coming out of the game very often. Kobe McGee now in the game.
Seemingly a lid on this hoop, by the way, for free throws.
Yes, it has not been easy so far, along with the second.
The second one goes off the back rim, the right rim. No, Morris Knights with a second chance opportunity from downtown, and they're on the board, and they've got the lead 3-2.
And they're up in the press. More aggression from 61 off the score.
Trouble getting it across the timeline. The Mariners finally deal, but an 10-second violation call is going to go against them. Sorry, Coach, I know nothing of rules.
Well, no, there's 8 seconds NBA, 10 seconds everywhere else, and the pressure from the 61 early on, creating the turnover they wanted.
Well, now here's a pass into the paint, deflected, now back up top, a three. Still might have been on the line, but the refs say it would go if it went. Did not. Down the other way. Beautiful left-handed move. Oh, Dr. Khalil Green is everywhere today.
I can't see the scoreboard, but I believe it is Green. All their scoring so far from Green.
Absolutely, it is. 4-3 is our score. It's Khalil Green 4 and the Morris Knights 3. Beautiful up-court pass here, a bit too strong here off the fingertips of Green. And, you know, this is a player that we talk about as we have our first time out in the game here, Coach. And Khalil Green, he's a name that we've called a lot, so let's just get to know him a bit. Asked him what his favorite pregame meal was. He said NA sandwich. Followed up by what's your favorite food? He said steak. I mean, you know... What's your most favorite part about playing basketball? He says having fun. So he's just got all the right answers.
The last answer was the best amongst 3 fantastic answers and 3 questions there. With the one question, my goodness.
And I can relate to his music. You know, he says, what's his favorite song to warm up to? He says he loves Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. So,
wow.
Way to represent out here.
All right, so the Mariners bring it a little further out now. A little extended pressure, 2-2 top zone top.
Oh, splitting the defense beautifully is Scott. Now finds himself in trouble in the paint. Could be a jump ball situation. That's exactly what we have. It's going to the Mariners.
You got a 7th-year coach in Hayden and an 11th-year coach in Adon. And you see the changing defenses. 61 back to their 1-2 Timmy Gannon red press here.
Well, they had a hard time bringing it across the timeline last time out. Now they do successfully. Excellent extra pass into the paint, and we're going to have the basket waved off for a travel.
That's the right call there. Unfortunately,
tough call, but the right one,
yep,
it seems.
Absolutely.
Well, it's 61 trailing by 1, not no more. They find themselves up by 1, a 5-4 lead here. 1:53 remaining here in the first quarter.
61 in their press, stay aggressive, but aggression leads to breaks.
Justin Grenade with a fantastic name brings it across the court and loses the handle. Now this is Scott going the other way. He's been everywhere for the night so far. Talk about his counterpart, Khalil Green, comes up with the steal. Now a drive right and doesn't go for Sebastian. Second chance opportunity here for the Mariners. Long snatches it out of the hands.
I coach JV basketball. There are teams that have no one the size of Arango or Long. 61 with a big height advantage.
Arango driving into the lane. He's going to be fouled in the process. No shot attempt here, though, Ray. So inbounding underneath their own basket are the Knights.
Arango is just a horse. He just has size, strength, and the speed and ability as well. He's not a stiff out there. So he's been a fantastic player, and he'll continue to develop as he continues to work on his game.
And here's a long two from the right wing. Doesn't go. Last touch by the Knights. Mariners have it here with a running clock. They find themselves down by 1 point.
For the pressure in the rotation, looking to create a steal here.
And good poke away from behind. You said it, Coach. They come up with the steal, looking to drive, throwing it up off the glass. No. Second chance opportunity. Arango has it. He throws it up, is fouled in the process. Going to the line to shoot 2 with the clock stopped at 22.9 seconds.
So to this point, Danny, unless I'm losing, I think it's McGee 5 and Green 4 so far as the scoring for both teams go. So
I need you to tell me something about this kid Arango when you get a chance, maybe on the next time out, because he's an absolute monster. He's been everywhere tonight. I want to know more about him.
Well, I can tell you his favorite pregame meal is the bacon, egg, and cheese. And what's more New York than that? What is more Staten Island than a bacon, egg, and cheese?
Did he specify salt, pepper, ketchup?
He did not write SPK, so right. It's hard to say.
Hard to say. Well, the lid continues on the hoop, Ray. He's 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Continue here. Maybe it'll bring him luck.
Well, his favorite part about playing basketball, I just enjoy playing it. It's fun. So far for that question, these kids are knocking it immediately out of the park.
0 for 2 on the charity stripe, but a beautiful second chance opportunity goes, and it's IS 61 with a 7-4 lead. And the Marine Park Mariners are going to be called for a traveling violation here with a running clock. They'll have to get it inbounds quickly. Coach from the Morris Knights is a little upset here, saying ref didn't bring the ball over, but nevertheless, that's the end of 1 quarter of play here from New Brighton, Staten Island, Ray. We've got ourselves a barn burner.
This has been fantastic. I think that was McGee on the putback, correct? So it's McGee 7 and Green 5. So we've had what you expect in the star player.
Colby McGee, by the way, love the name.
It's a fantastic name. Shout out to Tank McGee, Justin McGee, his dad.
You got any info on Colby?
I can find some info on
I'd
Colby.
Love to.
Well, I know his dad is Justin McGee, one of the finest people I've ever met.
Tremendous individual. And, shout out to the Curtis alums.
Favorite movie, Uncle Drew. He wants to be a pro as far as basketball. It's fun. Likes to have a nature bar before the game. Likes to enjoy listening to Little Baby Drake. I don't know what the other thing says. Does that end?
Well, it says his favorite food is pasta, so I'm with it. He likes to carb up. You know what I'm saying?
Go on a carb load. Do it while you can. Do it while you can.
While you're young.
Enjoy
the pasta. Absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as we get started here with the second quarter, Nobody Cares Sports, to my knowledge, has never had a live breaking news scenario. And right now, joining us in the booth is somebody who is going to be the new head freshman basketball coach at St. Peter's, and it's my good friend, and this is a Nobody Cares Sports exclusive, Jake DeForest. Jake.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Congratulations, first of all, and just tell me your thoughts about, I know you put the work in over the years, as the assistant coach and such, so tell me, how do you feel?
Coach, it's really a dream job for me. It's a dream opportunity to be under the tutelage of Coach Woods and Coach Spisto for the last 5 years. Learning so much down here almost every day, being with those guys. It's a it's a really great opportunity for me, and the fact that my Uncle Dennis was the freshman coach, too, is kind of cool that I'm taking over after him.
Well, I want to give you a big congratulations, and, while the people at home get used to you and introduced to you, that might not be familiar with St. Peter's, are you down to stay with us on the broadcast till halftime and maybe drop some times of wisdom with us?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, so Ray's going to tell you when to talk and not to talk. Not that anybody cares.
Danny's going to give you hand signals, or you're not going to understand them at all. You don't know whether we want to keep talking or steal third base or whatever. But we'll be okay. We'll figure it out. But last
number
thing for me,
number 11 here, Colby McGee, though, exiting the game here, a little shook up with an injury. So that is a big moment here in the second quarter. I just want to draw that attention to you as we're about to have an inbounds underneath Morris IS 61's basket. They have a 3-point lead here very early on here in the second quarter, and certainly more about this new hire for the freshman basketball team at St. Peter's here as we go on. Amazing Long receives the inbound pass. He goes up with the left hand, a bit too strong. A mad scramble for the rebound. Oringo gets it. Long on the third chance opportunity, throws it in.
Size wins, right, Coach Safari? Size wins.
I mean, they're really, really big. Omar's really, really good. Amazing's really good.
Ooh! He split a double team that time and did everything correctly, but it just didn't go. Vincent Garcia couldn't get the bucket.
And now they're playing man, Danny. I mean, these guys are so impressive early on, changing defenses, doing different things, giving teams different looks.
Love to see it. A wild shot here, and that has to do with the walk. You said it, Coach.
Well,
is this your first time being in a Nobody Cares booth, Coach?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is. It's a complete honor.
Well,
feels good to be here.
And if you pick your head up, this crowd, Danny, look at the arrival on the bucket.
Starting to fill up a capacity crowd, and a beautiful runner in the lane puts it down to a 1-point game.
Green is an absolute stud. Absolute stud.
Noah Scott looking to say anything. You could do, I could do better.
We have that on the shot.
Might have to count it and the foul, my friends.
We're going to have Dan Brown come over and explain.
It's going to be, I think they're counting it.
You said it, mister. So the foul is going to go against Khalil Green. It is a bucket and the foul. So a free throw coming from the charity stripe at the end of this timeout. Back to you guys on this breaking news. Tell us more about this new freshman coach here at St. Peter's High School.
Well, I'll tell you about Jake. I've watched Jake. Some guys are given opportunities and some guys earn them, and the guy to my right has earned them certainly.
Thank you, Coach.
Also, the Brighton Boys, one of the up-and-coming bands here in the neighborhood. If you ever hear the Brighton Boys advertised somewhere, go check them out. But
you're the best, Coach.
I mean, honestly, you tell me, Jake. How does it feel to finally now instead of making suggestions, you're making decisions? How's that going to feel?
Yes, I'm nervous but excited. I'm bringing on some guys with some experience. Again, Coach Woods is my absolute mentor.
Do we have more breaking news as to who these experienced guys might be? Not yet. Okay, all right.
Ray, you always look like a hostage when we do selfies. Why? Try it again. Just try it again.
Just look happy, Coach.
I'm very happy.
That's all I ask, right? I just want you to look a little bit happy.
I thought you wanted my serious face. Okay.
No, I don't know. You always look like a hostage. That's all.
Well, listen, I'm never a hostage here that nobody cares. So.
Back to the action. I swear we're good. Great tutelage here from both coaches, by the way. I want to say they've been incredibly active with coaching their players. Not so much talking to the referees, right? So many coaches do that where they try to control the pace of the game with the refs. They're just going and coaching their players. So props to these coaches today here.
When it gets to the big games, you want to focus on your kids, not the refs.
Oh, a beautiful pass from Long inside to Orango goes. And we have a timeout on the court by the referee as he now wants to address the William A. Morris Knights bench.
Yes, so that's a veteran move from referee Don McCombs there. He, rather than tee up the coach or do something, he stopped play, have a little talking to, explain what his call was, and now everybody's happy. It's a great thing we have when people communicate.
That's it.
Absolutely love every second of it. You know why? We've got ourselves a 13-6 game. The Knights with a 7-point lead, their largest of the day. The Mariners trying to answer. Perimeter passing here. Beautiful crossover. Moving with the left hand. He's fouled. What a move.
Well, that's Sebastian, the other captain. My goodness, what a right to left there into the bucket. And they're going to need, obviously, some scoring from somebody other than Green if they're going to come and
doubt,
get back
Coach.
into this
No
game
doubt.
here. Coach
Talking
DeFar.
about Sebastian, too. What's his favorite pregame meal? Sandwiches. Favorite athlete? Kyrie Irving. What's favorite TV show? SpongeBob. I'm not trying to say I got a favorite. He's also from Coney Island, so shout out to Sebastian. I'm a big fan of him. At the charity stripe, trying to get his team back into it. The lid is officially off the hoop. Mr. Momentum trying to change his address here, boys.
I'm really liking 61's press, Coach. It's a stifling press. Kind of waiting for Marine Park to put a guy in the middle and look to go opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. That press is Timmy Gannon's red. Coach Peter Timmons and I played in the same team in high school with Timmy Gannon. That's our press. I'm sure.
There you go, Coach.
I'm sure he brought a little Timmy Gannon with him.
Yeah.
So now they're back to the blitzing zone.
You said it, Mr. Second one is up and in. It's a 5-point ball game. Scott splitting everybody on defense. Now kicking it right side. Trying to get it back to him up top. It's deflected out of bounds. Last touch off of the Knights or Mariners? Last touch off the Knights. So the Mariners will set to inbound far right of the camera.
Now, I wonder if McGee is okay or he's in foul trouble or what here, but this could be this is a detriment to the Knights because he's been literally all their scoring early on.
Yes, sir. Now moving it the other direction. Back up top. Excellent passing. Corner pass, the three. Just a bit too strong. Now down the other way. It's the Knights that'll look to bring it across the timeline quickly. Sending it over right side. Sylvester fires her shot. And he's called for a travel?
I could watch Scott play basketball all day long. Just his tempo, his pressure, the moment's never too big for him.
Yep.
Knows when to turn it on,
he
when to slow it
welcomes
down.
Right, Coach?
Yeah, well said, Coach. Yeah, absolutely.
So many coaches, so confusing. Back to the action on the court. 13-8, Mariners trail by 5 here. Looking for the open man. They find him in the paint. That's Khalil Green. He's fouled as soon as he received the pass. So I don't know what the foul situation is here. Nobody's in the bonus yet, so they'll be inbounding underneath their own hoop. And, boys, we've got ourselves somewhat of a capacity crowd here. I mean, the tension is palpable. Cut it with a knife if you wish.
Well, Marine Park has their fans that have traveled, and then we have our staff and students, 61, well represented here at St. Peter's tonight.
Oh, and a step on the line on the inbound pass reception from Marine Park coming the other way now. The Morris Knights will have the ball.
And we see back in the game for the Morris Knights.
The atmosphere here is like Peter's Farrell on a Friday night. It's unbelievable.
Rango with the right is called for a travel. He said he's got some big legs, and he took about 92 steps in the paint. I don't know. I just call it like I see it, Coach. You see why I get hate mail? I'm about to owe a fruit basket to everybody in Marine Park if this keeps up. 3:22 remaining here in the first half. It is, in fact, still a 5-point game. Sending it right side. The step back three is blocked. Oh, baby, what a play on the perimeter. Scott has it now coming the other way, kicking it left side. They find Arango in the paint. He's tied up. And this ball is going to stay with the Knights. No, I'm sorry. It's Marine Park ball.
I didn't know. Do I correct Danny there? Do I just wait for him? I don't know how to handle that one.
I get confused. And shout out to everybody out there tuned in. If you want to watch this game after the fact, we're going to throw it up on the YouTube machine. Easy to find, but make sure you give a like and subscribe and follow to our friends at Local Live, doing a tremendous job with the live stream today. Bringing it across the timeline now. That's Sebastian sending it right side. He receives it yet again, looking left, pulls it back up, and will reset. Now left side, Green with it. Back up top to Sebastian. A little back and forth action. I don't have to keep mentioning it. Now they'll kick it to the corner and back up top to you guessed who, the point guard. Good defense here from the Knights, forcing him to reset 3 times.
Kind of a patient 2-3 zone.
Yeah, not very aggressive. Not looking for steals. Just trying to keep a body in front.
Yeah, that's right.
This is Grenade who loses it in the paint. Coming back the other way with it are the Knights, dribbling across the timeline. Scott sending it left. He receives it yet again. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Pass is sent left side. Reinhold with it now. Arango. And a foul called on the big man. He has just been getting hacked. But you know what? Refs are letting them play out here today, and I like it.
Yes, absolutely. Gotta love that.
Jermaine Crawford's going to come back in the game. He's the lone size that can match up with the Morris Knights. So it looks like we have a 1-1 here. Yes, it's going to be a 1-1. So 61, you're going to look to go to Arango in the high post, but you hope to see us get the high-low with Long there as opposed to just kind of the confusion a little bit. If Long can get in front of his man, Jake, they can kind of play a little high-low there beside the
Now, listen, I want to give a shout-out to Jermaine Crawford, number 55, big man, just checked into the game. You would think that he's all protein, but his favorite pregame meal is fruits, and his favorite food is a peach. So,
oh, my goodness.
Big man is just all about the veggies. Fruits? I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a fruit.
Back to the action. Nobody cares. Oh, the runner right side too strong off the back end. No, Knights come up with the rebound. 1:35 remaining here in the first half. They still have this 5-point lead. It seems we haven't had a bucket in forever, boys.
It's been a little bit offensive drought here in the second quarter. Both teams are kind of set into their zones. Marine Park being a little more aggressive than the Knights, but either way, both teams struggling offensively in the second quarter.
Absolutely.
Weesey sends it up top to Scott, who now sends it left side. Weesey receives it.
I was going to say, Dan, they might have heard the announcement. You know, you let news like this get out there, and, you know, there's only slight sarcasm from before me. So, Jake, before you go, congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Coach.
St. Peter's has only had, you know, a handful of freshman coaches in its history, and it's quite the accomplishment for you. So I'm very happy for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to finish the quarter out, Danny. Minute 9, minute 5.
Minute 5. It's tough to see the scoreboards here at St. Peter's.
Not the ideal perspective.
Also, it's 1,000 degrees, so we'll see how these kids factor in with no IVs or oxygen tanks. Here's a three from the left side. Doesn't go. Second chance opportunity here from the Mariners. Another three, too strong. The Knights come up with the board. This is Scott working against two Mariners. Driving in the lane. Beautiful move! And it goes!
He plays the game at his tempo. He's not going to get you to speed. He's not going to be sped up. He won't be slowed down. Noah Scott to the bucket.
Back up to a 7-point lead that matches their largest of the game. The ball stolen here by Reinhold. Sent up to Scott, who is fouled. And that is a hard blocking foul as one of their best players, Khalil Green, hits the deck hard and is still down.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting up pretty quick. Hopefully he'll be okay. Obviously, he's a huge factor for Marine Park on both ends of the floor.
I wouldn't mind seeing 61 speed up the tempo in the second half, Coach. It just seemed like they're a better team when Noah's really moving down the floor.
Well, I guess this defensive end, they decided to put less pressure to keep them in front, and it's worked.
Sure,
to the tune of they have, I guess, 8 points.
They're giving up 8, right.
So, but yes, I do agree with you as far as they could probably create more offense from the defense if they were to turn it up a notch. But if you're the coach, perhaps the other side of the coin is maybe just want to slug it out.
Sure,
you know,
and a big shout out to these guys. They're doing a phenomenal job, really.
Well, you got Coach Kevin Hayden. He has won 4 Staten Island championships, 2 girls, 1 boys, 1 JV, and 1 girls city championship over the years. Are they talking to us? Oh, they're talking to them. Okay, looking for a mop. I'm not sure what they need a mop for, but a mop. They're calling for a mop.
Quite sure.
So anyway, Kevin Hayden again, 2 girls, 1 boys JV championships. And I know Kevin personally. He's a fantastic dude and a great gym teacher and leader at our school. And just speaking to Coach Patrick Akonde, he's 11th season. I didn't know this was going around 11 years.
That's incredible.
Class, and he preaches academics and on and off the court for these kids, and I just find it amazing. These aren't 2 teams; these are 2 programs in the public school, and I find it really impressive.
That's incredible.
Shout out, I've been spacing out, by the way. I often do that.
It happens from time to time.
I was reading about how Crawford's favorite movie is Rocky. He's a hard guy to read. He likes peaches. His favorite movie is Rocky.
What an interesting guy.
I know.
Want to hang out with him?
He's so diverse. Back to the action on the court. The Mariners trailing here by a score of 16-8. Working it around, they figure they might as well get threes, but they don't need them. They just need to work it into the paint like that to my man Crawford. Ain't I been saying it?
What a beautiful spin to the other shoulder for the layup there. Nice versatility.
16-10's our score. 5 seconds on the shot. Now a pass into Arango and throws it up at the last second. Won't go. At halftime, our score is the William A. Morris Knights 16, and it is, of course, the JHS 278 Mariners 10. Coach, we thank you for joining us in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It's
Big congratulations to you.
Thank you so much,
Jake.
guys. Do a great
Awesome.
job.
Jake,
Thank
you're
you so much.
fantastic. We appreciate you. Best of luck next season.
Go check out the Brighton boys. Brighton boys all day.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys.
Well, we're going to take a short break ourselves, not that anybody cares, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with second half action, right?
This is great. This
awesome
is great.
stuff.
Nobody cares. Main Street Coffee!
Main Street Coffee. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're out here. Absolutely nobody cares. Back after this.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the action, everybody. Thank you, Ray. I don't know what's going on here. Second half, Mariners trying to get it started the right way, and do they come up with a turnover, trying to eat into this lead, into this deficit, rather, but it's Scott that comes up with the ball. And now another turnover. A little too overzealous with the pass, Ray, and we're going to have these boys calm down here. Second half jitters are underway.
And the tempo has been turned up.
You said it, mister.
Omar Jenkins in for I-61.
Oh, that is like his fourth travel in the paint so far, Coach. So he's been having a hard time with the defense from the Mariners in the paint.
And that's exactly what you just said, Dan. Give credit to the defense. They're doing a good job collapsing on and making it tough from the turn off either shoulder. And Morris Knights are staying in their packed-in 2-3 zone with Jenkins and Scott at the top of it.
Now back to the action. A deep three. This one might as well be from West Brighton. Eating into that.
Player. Player.
It is now a 3-point deficit, a one-possession game. The Mariners looking to cut into it even more and do. It is a 1-point game.
So we got a delay of game call. Apparently one of the players for the Mariners hit the ball after the score. And the Mariners have turned the intensity up and come out ready to go here, Danny.
They sure have. Orango with it, now working into the paint. He sends a pass right side to Long, fouled in the process.
So look for that more in the second half. We're with Long to Orango, Orango to Long, as far as taking advantage of their size, some high-low, things like that. Are we getting free throws? No, it should be a baseline possession, I would think.
Absolutely. They'll be inbounding underneath their own hoop. Running clock here, third quarter. It's the middle school New York City semifinal championship game, live from St. Peter's High School in New Brighton, Staten Island. The 61 Knights hanging on to a 1-point lead. The jumper from the corner doesn't go from Omar Jenkins. Back the other way, Orango off the turnover, and they up their lead back to 3.
Jenkins is an offensive spark plug. Don't let his size confuse. That's son of Omar Jenkins, Curtis legend, and might not have his dad's size. It has his heart and ability, that's for sure.
Three-pointer won't go. Orango with the board, sending it now right side. Finding himself in trouble are the Knights, and fouled, trying to get it across the timeline in the process here. So a little bit too much here on defense with the aggressiveness. It cost the Mariners that time.
Well, you take the trade-off. They've gotten a few buckets as well. So once in a while you get a foul, once in a while you get a bucket. You'll make those. You'll trade that any day of the week. It's Scott again. He'll be at his tempo.
And a beautiful baseline jumper opportunity doesn't go. Orango cleaning it up underneath.
He's just tough. At the high post, the elbow, the block, anywhere around. He gets a little bit of everything.
20-15's our score. Another deep three from way downtown. Doesn't go for Khalil Green. And now it's the Knights bringing it across. I'm sorry, that three was from Vincent Garcia. Now a three from the Knights on their own. Doesn't go from Colin Reinhold. The putback from you guessed it. Big man on campus.
Just simply outworking the back of that zone for the Mariners there with his size and strength. No surprise here. We see Jermaine Crawford to the scorer's table. He'll be back in a second.
Oh, Scott going the other way. Right hand off the glass. Good. The Mariners want to talk it over.
Well, that's just the aggression of Orango, the tempo and control of the game of Scott. And after a slow start handling the press, the Morris Knights doing a fantastic job handling the pressure from Marine Park. Now we'll see what adjustments are made after the timeout. Danny, if you pick your head up, this is Farrell. Like Jake DeForest said it, this is Farrell Peters like. Look at the crowd.
I don't know. This is a Friday afternoon at 5:11. 5:11 p.m. This place is packed. We've got, 8th grade basketball taking place right now?
Not even. This is junior varsity. This is 6th and 7th grade basketball.
I don't even know what's happening. It took me into the second half to realize where I was. That's Nobody Cares Sports, but we're out here because we always try and find the things that aren't being broadcasted, and we want to make them better and shine a bright light on them, and you're doing a great job of that today, Coach. Props to you for letting us know, Nobody Cares Sports, that this is something that we needed to broadcast. So big thank you to Coach Ray Palma for getting this done today.
Well, that's just me, but Kevin Hayden, the support, and the Mariners all working together to give you this beautiful day here and this broadcast these kids will have forever. It'll be something available they can watch the rest of their lives.
Give me some play-by-play, Coach.
So Green's he's been the killer all night long. He has the ball. He's going to move it against the zone. Jenkins sliding his feet. Green from the foul line jumper is off, and the rebound Long. They're going to kick, and Scott's going to bring it up the right sideline. Mariners are back into their zone, it looks like. Scott to the wing. Tray ball on the left side is just bounces around.
Oh, doctor! Talk about it. That's Reinhold from downtown, Coach.
That's a humble of every piece of the rim and in.
And listen to this crowd off of a traveling violation. Will the Mariners be able to weather this storm?
Coach Adonde taking no chances here. He's making subs. He's going to keep working guys in and out until he gets the people he thinks can come back and make this game a W.
Weather this storm. You people don't deserve me. Back to the action on the other way. Ooh. Good block, but a foul's going to be called here. Not sure I agree with it. It's going to go against big man Jermaine Crawford.
Ref Dan Brown had a different angle than we had, obviously. From our side, it was really clean, but perhaps something on the backside. So let's put Reinhold, just got the three ball from the left wing. See if he can add two more from the foul line for his own personal 5-0 run.
Well, the sweat has continued for me, and it certainly won't stop as Reinhold misses the
Well,
first
Dan,
of two.
you should be stretched out by now. We did 75 games of CYO.
Oh, no, I know.
So
that's what I mean. I don't
This is
understand.
nothing for you. This is a walk in the park.
It's just the heat in this gym.
Yeah.
Reinhold gets his own board after going 0 for 2. Passes it to Scott, who now sends it left side. A three! Go! Omar Jenkins from downtown! And that opens it up to a 30-15 lead, their largest of the game.
It's been a death by 1,000 cuts here for the Morris Knights.
A deep three won't go for the Mariners. Coming up with it now is Jenkins. Sending it to Scott. Jenkins calling for the ball yet again. Scott working left side around a screen. Sends it to Reinhold. The three won't go. Tip out. Jenkins throws it up right side, and it goes. They are firing on all cylinders right now, and if you're the Mariners, you have got to get something going on this possession.
So Arango has just been everything. That was the tap out, and then the instant offense out of Jenkins. I told you, probably going to be the shortest kid in a lot of games he's going to play. He also is the toughest and probably the best shooter on the floor, or at least amongst the best at all times. I see Dad Omar in the crowd. Again, one of the best to ever do it around here. In school, out of school, to this moment, Omar is probably a couple years older than me, probably about 46, 47. I'll take him over just about anybody in Staten Island basketball-wise. Here comes Green again, top of the key against the zone. They need a bucket out of him desperately. Right wing three is up in the air and just short, but Green is on the glass, up and in. If they're going to make a comeback, Dan, it's going to be a lot of Green involved.
You said it, mister. He has been everywhere for them here in the first half, and now it's the second half. Coach, you got to wonder. He has been number one for them. Maybe he's starting to get a little tired. You know what I mean? Not too much in the tank. Again, it's 1,000 degrees in here.
When you're the focus of the other team's defense, it can be annoying, and certainly the zone defense for 61 has been shifted towards Green as much as possible. So, yeah, it can get a little frustrating. And, none of these kids are used to playing in front of a crowd like this. So I guess Amazing Long and Omar, a few kids that played in the CYO last week, which nobody cares, has covered both because we're everywhere you need to be. And
absolutely.
For any of our Marine Park listeners, hey, we have cars, we travel, we have an event, we always love to try and work something out. Don't be afraid to reach out to Danny here at Nobody Cares Sports. We have the YouTube page and the Instagram and all that cool stuff, I'm sure. And here we go, Dan.
Well, a tipped ball off the inbound, and then it's stolen in the paint, and now stolen back here for the Mariners. Green with the left hand is going to be called for the charge.
What a step in.
Woo!
You got a Reinhold there, just taking it right in the chest, stepping up, taking the hit. That's going to go possession the other way, and the Morris Knights are rolling. Wait, I'm sorry. Is that not the call?
So it was called a charge. All right, a little confusion on the court there for everybody, and it's going to be Morris Knights basketball. A 32-17 lead with 1:15 to go here in the third quarter. The Mariners still trail by 15. Stolen by Long at half court, and he's called for a travel.
So it's gotten real sloppy here these last minutes. So again, Dan, can you see the 30-17? Is that what it is, 13-point game?
It's 32-17.
Oh, so we can see the home score to our right and the away score to our left.
Got to look both sides
All right,
here.
got it.
Like still at Wrigley Field.
Head on a swivel. All right, so listen, a bucket here is big.
Little stutter step from the right side, stripped in the lane. On the shot attempt, that's Vincent Garcia. Should be going to the line here to shoot two, Coach.
I'm not sure. Is he going to the line? Looks like it might be possession. Yeah, okay, to the line. Good, here. So, listen, this is a couple of big free throws here. Right now you got it at 15. Cut it down to 12, 13. Hang around for a fourth quarter. The clock will stop at the last 2 minutes of the fourth as well, unlike a lot of the games. So, a lot of time here left, Danny.
Yeah, a lot of time here. Shout out to this kid at the line here is Vincent Garcia. Favorite video game, Call of Duty. So I'm a big fan of that. I don't get to play too often. Also, he likes beef with carrots and potatoes is his favorite food.
That sounds hearty.
Hearty.
I like that. Yeah, that's a hearty meal right there.
He's a big fan of Steph Curry and Jalen Brunson, so I could agree with him there as well.
Love me some Jalen. He's got to keep playing, though. Enough of this injury crap. There we go. Long's going to ring it along. Beautiful ball move to Jenkins.
Oh, the deep three is money! Little man has brought this place to an absolute pandemonium level. A deep three down the other end won't go. The Knights come up with it.
Jenkins has been the star of the second half.
Jenkins receives it again. A long two is too strong. And the Mariners fight for the rebound. Green comes up with it. Brings it across the timeline. Fires a deep three at the end of the third quarter. We have our score. Ray, the Morris Knights seemingly were shot out of a cannon here to start the second half, and they have a commanding lead.
I think you got to give all the credit to Jenkins. He started the second half after not appearing in the first half. So, first of all, credit to coaches Timmons and Iden for making the substitution, going to the young man. And he has done nothing but arrive. Missed his first shot, didn't hesitate one bit. So, and then Arango's been the star of the game overall. I think, Jenkins is the star of the third quarter. Arango's been the star of the game, just unstoppable on both sides of the backboards and such. So this game has been a spectacular game for IS-61. And for Marine Park, it's been a two-man band. They've had Sebastian and Green have thrived. Unfortunately, look, you know what? I love this coach Chanod, and I don't know if the camera shows, but the Peters bench, Coach Adonde's sitting and the players are standing. I like this.
I'm loving it.
This is a remix. I like this. Look at the focus from the kids too. Wow, this is I've never seen this before. This is great. Like, I've been coaching high school basketball for 22 years. Here I am learning from an 11th season middle school coach here from Brooklyn. So, wow, we're in a unique way of doing things. And you just see the two different styles of coaching and but both teams, we said earlier, this is high-level coaching and high-level playing.
Well, and if you want to know more about some high-level broadcasting that we have here in the community, tomorrow is the St. Peter's alumni game. 2 p.m. right here from the Eagles Nest. We'll be broadcasting on Local Live, the restream on YouTube. Next Thursday night, we've got the Jakes game also from this building.
Going to be
broadcasting on YouTube. We've got next Saturday, the Mid-Island Little League opening day, so nobody cares is everywhere. Like and subscribe. I'll tell you, I like that shot from the corner. A deep three from downtown for Benjamin Jarovic. And I'm sorry, that was from the Morris Knights, bro. Tagging it on, that was Kobe McGee with the deep three. Back down the other end now. The Mariners try to answer and simply cannot. It has been all IS-61 here in the second half.
Bull in China shop there, Arango to Long. I've been waiting for that all day for the two bigs to connect. There it finally is, and the IS-61 is starting to pull away, folks. I wish there was a camera on Danny. He's got like group text going. He's Instagram. He's posting things. He's taking selfies. He does it all.
So you wonder why I'm always sweating. All right, back to the action on the court.
He's in a constant search of information, this guy. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here staring at admiring middle school timeouts. So
just making sure which one of these messages says we're fired, and we still seem to be good. So continue.
I don't think you get fired when you're in charge. This is your world, buddy. This is your world, and I'm not getting paid, so I can't get fired from anything. So
no, sir.
Can't fire from somebody from volunteering.
No.
Not that I'm aware of anyway.
He'll keep showing up no matter what.
No, have game, will broadcast. Have spelling bee, game, wrestling match, cheerleading, whatever you got.
We might have to move that spelling bee from somewhere else other than Flagship Brewery. So if you own a business out there and you'd like an adults 21-plus spelling bee where people are getting boozed up trying to figure it out, let us know. We want to do it.
And if you don't care, 6th grade, 3rd grade, whatever, we can work it in. It'll be fun regardless.
Here we just want to do a spelling bee.
I just want a spelling bee.
I got you.
How good would a 3rd grade spelling bee be if you and I had to guess the words? We couldn't get them. It'd be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
It would be pretty unbelievable considering we have a hard time speaking during regular broadcasts.
Absolutely.
39-19 is the score here, and it's times like these that we want to, talk about and meet the players for some of the information that we have here on the court to give a shout out to all these young men out here participating in the game today. Beautiful cross-court pass. Amazing Long swats it. Says not up in here. Back down the other way. Mariners with it. Good setter step. The runner left side, the floater. Oh, my goodness.
And that's the right hand from Sebastian, a left-handed player off the fake. That was gorgeous.
Beautiful pass now from the Knights. Scott spins around, gets himself out of trouble. Looking to send it right side. He finds Jenkins, who fires a deep three off the mark. Too strong. Rebounded, corralled in the corner by the Mariners. They'll bring it across the timeline. Beautiful little stutter steps, put the defender on skates. Now sending it back left side. A three is no good. Tipped back out. The Mariners with a second chance opportunity here. This number 40 with it.
Green driving down the floater there.
Oh, big man.
Tough
Sends
on
it
the
back
miss.
up top. Won't go. There's just a lid on that basket right now, Coach, for the Mariners.
We talk about our interviews here with the kids. Omar Jenkins, favorite pregame meal? Anything. Just anything.
Whatever you put in front
Whatever
of
you
him.
put in front of him, he'll eat it. I can never, ever say that. I'm the pickiest person alive. Omar, on the other hand.
I mean, shout out to whoever's raising them. They're raising them right. You know what I mean?
Just
whatever you put in front of him.
Yeah.
Eats.
He's also, I mean, he's got to be about 60 pounds. Maybe he's got to eat a little more of anything. But
it's incredible. What an answer.
And then steak's his favorite food. So he goes with the protein or anything, So it's good to have versatility in the eating game. Favorite thing about playing basketball, and, Omar Jenkins from the Jenkins family, Jenkins, Martin family is all intertwined. Playing with friends and family is his favorite part of playing basketball. So we've had these answers are amazing. These things literally write themselves.
Yeah, a lot of kids, they always say their favorite video game is 2K, especially a kid like on Marine Park. Justin Grenade, number 23, says favorite foods are chicken tenders. I mean,
what an answer.
Not a lot of disagreement.
I can't argue one single bit.
It's kids.
Chicken tenders are amazing.
It's more than just basketball here, right? It's community, and we want to introduce you to all these fine gentlemen, coaches, people participating. Fourth quarter action here from New Brighton. Semifinals of the middle school New York City JV Championship. Down the other end, it's a fan favorite. Omar Jenkins laying it in. He's reminiscent of Muggsy Bogues. He's just very tiny.
It's
a lot of energy. It's like a gnat. Very annoying to the Mariners. Seemingly everywhere all at once.
And a better shooter where you could put things in comparison.
Beautiful baseline move. The left-hand reverse won't go. It's Scott that comes up with it. 3:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Probably the first mistake Jenkins has made. Jenkins has been all offense early on. Well, not early on, this whole second half for the Morris Knights. Both coaches, too, working kids in and out of the game. This is not just the same 5 kids trotting in and out. So a lot of substitution, a lot of strategy. It's been a fantastic middle school basketball game.
I'd also like to throw it out that the bookies set the odds that William A. Morris was 2.5-point favorites in this game. And there was a lot of back and forth with the Nobody Cares group.
Well,
saying there was not,
if we're keeping score of who was right in the Nobody Cares group, you have no way to look further than you're right, Danny. But nonetheless.
Oh, what a crossover. Center step. Throws it up in the lane. Counted and the foul.
Green is, I can't describe, I hope it translates on television here or on the stream, whatever term I'm supposed to use. His ability to change direction and his jab step and footwork is just picture perfect. And he's able to get wherever he wants.
I don't know. When you come from Marine Park, you got to take the Belt Parkway to get here?
Yeah, I would think so, certainly.
So, what a terrible patch of road in New York City to drive on.
On a Friday,
so he's just working out his emotions.
Yes.
To be fair, he is doing his thing. Call him Mr. Buckets, because he's out here thinking, I don't want to get back on that Belt Parkway without balling out.
Yeah, that bus ride home is a lot easier after a win. That is for sure.
Well, he's certainly winning over this broadcast booth right now. Back down the other end, it's Scott with it for the Knights. William A. Morris, IS 61, completely in control here in the second half of this semifinal game. They come up with yet another turnover.
And it just speaks to the depth of the Morris Knights. Omar hasn't been back in the game. He was playing so well, and just they went a different direction. Hyden went a little smaller, and they've actually extended the lead. Haven't missed a beat.
Casey Hines making his way up towards the scorer's table, maybe making an entrance momentarily. And he is, in fact, entering the game for the first time. And big ovation.
Yeah, that's the substitution on purpose from Hyden. They get a standing ovation for the star of the second half, Omar Jenkins.
I mean, well-deserved. Well-deserved.
I mean, he was the spark plug. He was the
not so much there in the first half, but the second half. I mean, I just really wasn't accounted for, right? He was that X factor.
He didn't play in the first half.
Didn't play in the first half.
Did not appear. Yeah, did not appear in the first half. It shows the depth of IS 61. A lot of options. And I think you see the on full display today as they work their way towards a championship game appearance.
Now Marine Park trying to just put together anything they can to build on next season, and many of these young men going to go on to continue to play basketball, be it next year for the varsity level at their school, and we look forward to seeing them progress. Timeout called on the court here from William A. Morris, IS 61. We may see wholesale substitutions here, Coach.
You also that was also Kevin Hyden calling the timeout for Marine Park in a way. It's another classy veteran move from the coach to get the subs for the other guys in. You know, the minute clock here. If you run clock down, the kids get in with 20, 30 seconds left. Now the kids who haven't played will get a chance. Yeah, Coach. See, Danny, are you not? Am I losing my mind? Or is Coach Adonde revolutionizing the timeout? Coach, if you're listening, this is Ray Palma. We spoke on the phone earlier. The way you handle your team and the way it's constructed is just a phenomenal representation of Marine Park, the Mariners, and the program itself. Shout out to the assistants, Mr. Chris and Miss Tiffany. You guys came to Staten Island and both on and off the court represented your school extremely well, and the way you coach your team is mighty, mighty impressive from so many different perspectives. Good luck and keep it going, and kudos to you guys. You guys have been fantastic all game long. Unfortunately, Danny, I think that from an offensive perspective, they found a hard time getting baskets from anybody outside of Sebastian and Green, and the Morris Knights turned the tempo up. The energy from Marengo, the energy from Jenkins.
I'm blown away by all of this. Like I said, I know next to nothing about local sports. I just love it. And this league didn't exist when I was a kid, when I went to 61. And, props to these kids from Marine Park. They have absolutely balled out today in front of a packed house, journeyed from Brooklyn, and they got nothing to be hanging their heads about.
There's tears in their eyes. Some of these kids these days don't give a crap about anything. This coach has his kids, and I feel horrible for these poor kids. I'm sure Coach do a great job of telling them how great they are. And had a fantastic
they played a
season.
Tremendous game, and they got a fan and nobody cares sports.
Absolutely.
We look forward to Marine Park sports and hope that they can continue to build on this tremendous crop of talent that Coach has put together here in the semifinal game. It's the William A. Morris Knights who are just not letting up, and now a fresh crop of individuals in the game here, and we love to see that. As that was Aiden Cole, brings it across the timeline. A deep three fired from King Concepcion won't go. Second chance opportunity here, and a foul called on the left elbow. We'll have a stoppage in play, Coach.
Yeah, so Casey Hines in the game, Darian Hargrove, that's Kevin Corson, Elijah Sylvester, and Jaden Crawford in for the Morris Knights. We'll try and get everybody's name mentioned if we can. Corner three up again.
And it just won't go this time. Close to getting the rebound was Darius Davis, but instead it's the Knights that have it.
And these two teams both competing to the end. Love to see it. Corson, good weak side pass to Hines. Hines down the lane up. Straw. Beautiful behind the
what a pass! Oh, doctor, that might be the play of the game coming from Casey Hines.
Oh, my goodness. That was fantastic. Casey Hines ended a beautiful passion for the Morris Knights.
That's why we pay attention to the end. Ardolino receives the pass. He's down on the deck. Good hustle from everybody. The three in the corner won't go from the Mariners. And that does it for the semifinal championship here from St. Peter's Boys High School. The IS 61 Knights are moving on, and a big congratulations to this JHS 278 Marine Park Mariners, who played a complete ball game and just came up a bit short.
I came here, they rode the Belt Parkway, they got here as a family. The staff and people here at Marine Park, you represented yourselves tremendously. And like I spoke about, this team had the highest team GPA ever. They're students, athletes first. They have a high IQ on and off the court, and every game has been a learning experience, and you learn just as much in triumph as you do in adversity. Shout out to you, Coach. But hey, to my guy Kevin Hyatt and Peter Timmons and the job they do over at IS 61, and my good friend Janine Callie there behind the bench, and shout out to Tommy Barber doing the book for us today. We're one more away, and I'm very proud of Kev Hyden and Peter. Maybe we can get Kevin Hyden over here in a second, maybe. But I'm proud to be a part of all this. And you're an alumnus of IS 61, Dan.
I am. We'll try and get the head coach in the booth,
Callie,
if possible. As we're just about to wrap up, but we're going to wait to see if we can get the winning coach into our broadcast booth. Before we do so,
you want to get to one of the boys? Orengo? Yeah, Omar. Little. So we're over here, you probably just heard us, but we're discussing who we're going to bring in for our post game. Is when you say Omar for I-61, there are two of them. So coming over to the booth now is Coach Kevin Hyde. And Omar, hold it down right there, buddy. You don't go anywhere. But right now, stepping into our broadcast booth here, Danny Chanod, is 7th-year head coach, 4 Island championships, 1 city championship. And, Coach, now you're 1 win away from city championship number 2. Let's talk first about the guy to your right. Did not see him in the first half, came in the second half, lightened this gym up. How did it feel to watch Omar Jenkins play that second half?
It felt wonderful. I got to be honest, halftime we were talking, we needed a little spark, and Coach Timmons said to me, he said, we got to get O in. And, O's a kid that played a lot in the beginning of the season, and as we've gone on, roles have changed, and, man, he's handled it like a champ, ready to go. And, I tell you, he came off the bench. He answered the bell. We needed that. And I'll tell you what, offensively, he was great. What he did defensively, really, I feel like sparked us, man. He worked so hard and was ready, right? I mean, that's life, the phone rings, you got to answer it. And my man here opened it and, answered it, and I couldn't be prouder. But I will say, Timmons will kill me if I didn't say it was his, he put it in my head. So, but listen, that's what working with him. Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
So if you're going to mention one Omar, you got to mention the other. Orengo, the best player in the gym, for the first half, and your team played so well in the second half. I think he might have got lost in the bench a little bit because we were playing so well without him. But how about Omar Orengo and what he does for you on the floor?
Listen, you just said he's the best player in the gym. I haven't been in a gym yet this year where he's not the best player. Just such a combination of size and ability. And I feel like sometimes is his worst enemy.